There was once a boy named Tano, born in a quiet village where strength and bravery determined one's worth. He was different. Not weak, but silent. While others ran, shouted, and fought, he watched. When he tried to speak, his voice trembled. When he wanted to step forward, his feet refused to move. Fear had built a home inside him, whispering lies that he believed for too long. You know what that feels like, don't you? That moment when you want to speak but hold back. That hesitation before taking a step forward. That crushing weight of doubt, convincing you that you're not enough. Tano had lived in that prison his entire life, until the day of the trial arrived. The elders of the village gathered the young warriors. They spoke of the Cave of Echoes, a place where one's deepest fears took shape. Every warrior had to enter alone, and only those who emerged victorious would earn the right to stand among the strong. When Tano heard this, his heart pounded. His body knew the familiar grip of fear. His mind started its endless cycle of, what if? What if he failed? What if he wasn't ready? What if the others saw how afraid he was? And yet the trial was not a choice. He had to enter. That night, as the fire crackled and the warriors prepared, a friend noticed his silence. You think you're the only one afraid? Kiro had said with a chuckle. We all are, but fear is just noise. It only wins if you listen. That sentence lingered in Tano's mind as he lay awake, staring at the stars. Could it really be that simple? That fear was nothing more than a roaring lion with no teeth? Morning arrived and the trial began. One by one, warriors entered the cave. Some came out quickly, shaken. Others never returned. Then, it was his turn. Tano stood at the cave's entrance, staring into the darkness. He could feel his legs urging him to run. But something inside him whispered, "Step forward." And so, he did. Darkness swallowed him whole. The air was thick, heavy, suffocating. Then the voices came. You're not strong enough. You're not meant to lead. You'll always be invisible. The words hit him like stones. They weren't just sounds, they were truths he had believed for years. He dropped to his knees, hands over his ears, but the echoes only grew louder. At that moment, something shifted. He remembered Kiro's words. He thought of the firelight, the roaring lion. Fear only wins if you listen. Slowly, he stood. The voices screamed louder, but he took another step. They shrieked, but he did not stop. Step by step, fear began to lose its power. The cave was only as strong as his belief in its lies. And then, Tano emerged, not the same boy who had entered. He stood taller, shoulders back, heart steady. The village elders nodded in approval. The warriors cheered. He had not defeated the cave. He had defeated himself, the version of himself that believed fear had power. And you have your own cave, don't you? Your own whispers that tell you you're not good enough, that you're too shy, too weak, too afraid. But let me tell you something. Fear is just an echo. It only wins when you stop moving. The way forward is through action. Even when your voice shakes, even when your hands tremble. Because the moment you take that step forward, fear fades, and you become unstoppable. Lessons from the story. 1. Fear only has power if you listen to it. Like the echoes in the cave, fear is just noise. It screams, but it cannot stop you unless you let it. Shyness is not your identity, it's just a habit. Tano believed he was a quiet boy, but in reality, he was a warrior who hadn't stepped into his strength yet. The same is true for you. Courage is acting despite fear. Every confident person you admire has been afraid. The difference? They moved forward anyway. 4. To defeat fear, you must face it. The only way out of the cave is through it. The only way to stop being shy is to speak. The only way to gain confidence is to act. What is one fear holding you back? Comment below and commit to taking one small step today. If this video spoke to you, hit the like button. Check out more videos like The Power of Confidence, How to Own Every Room You Enter, the #1 mindset shift that will make you unstoppable. Subscribe now for more wisdom that will change your life.